And we are live, back for more torture, agony, and suffering. Brought to you by the only show that knows how to put us all through perpetual hell for the best of it. House of the Dragons, Season 2 starts in 20 minutes. We start now. All right, guys, Brent here back with Geek Variants. We cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, House of the Dragons, Season 2. And I gotta say, hey, what's up, Trent? What's up, Intellivids? We are going through absolute hell and high water for this episode. If they're adapting the story that everyone is anticipating them to do, who's ready for some emotional therapy use directly after this episode? Because I'm going to be needing it probably during the episode. And just so we're all perfectly clear, as much as I would love to, I cannot show the episode in of itself during while it's premiering because HBO has rules, regulations, restrictions that we haven't gotten the full blessing for. We'll have it off screen, but you'll be getting live reacts as everything is going on. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check around. If not, there's going to be tons of other people who are willing to risk their channels to get this stuff up. We want to be live with you, the viewer, as we discuss all great things geek, because this show is going to be absolutely wild. We were significantly smaller channel when the first season dropped. We tried sticking our head in, and there's so many big dogs out there. It was hard to really get our name out. This time, I decided let's poke our head in a little bit more aggressively and see what we can do. And well, we have the House of the Dragon. We have the House of Black and the House of Green. Things are going to be absolutely insane to see how these stories break down. I gotta say, from a non-book reader perspective, I am hyped. I understand a lot of what this story is going to pertail and could have happened, but as far as saying, "Hey, I know exactly where the show is going," I do not. My favorite character from last season so far was Daemon. I understand. Hey, he is a flawed individual, but at the same time, he is providing so much entertainment. Matt Smith is a incredible actor, and he gave us so much love and so much action for everything going on. Hey, yeah, definitely. I am definitely on that team. I am 100% for Rhaenyra. This is exactly where we should be. I don't even understand how anyone could be on Team OnlyFans, but I mean, that's just how things are. She's selling her feet on Feet Finder. She's out here trying to do everything she can to ensure her family is going to survive. Clearly, well, she's going about it this way. I'd much rather be going about it that way. It just makes perfect sense that you'd want to have someone who's actively trying to look for peace in the kingdom as opposed to just pure insanity because, I mean, she's met her son. She understands what her son is about. He is about absolute malice, destruction, and self indulgence. Tell me, what king does this remind you of that, in Game of Thrones we had a fun time talking about, but we never got to see? Something about a hole in his back. Hmm. Something about a Lannister, his sword. It was just a crazy time, wasn't it? Everything happened so fast. It was like the guy was trying to destroy everything going on. But oh, he got poisoned. Joffrey got poisoned. Talking about Aegon. Aegon the Mad. And the name just seems to continue to go further and further and further down the list of terrible kings. Basically, if you've been a king in Westeros, more often than not, you probably shouldn't have been. If you were a great character, aka you had good moral substance, you wanted the best for the kingdom, you were like a Ned Stark, you were even from House Targaryen at some point, the guy who ran away and then had a baby out of wedlock and caused a whole bunch of shenanigans to happen, aka Jon Snow's one and only daddy. Those guys could have been king, but unfortunately, well, you just know how things pan out sometimes. Westeros is, always handed off to the worst of the worst every single time. Because Robert, while he was the right person to have for the rebellion, he fully understood he shouldn't have been king. He was as self-indulgent as they came. When he got into office, he was tried, he was true, he was chiseled, he was powerful, he was domineering. He commanded the people's respect and loyalty, but by the end, the only thing he'd given the kingdom was incredible debt, and he'd managed to go from a six pack to a six-pack of beer floating in his belly, which, hey, nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, one incites fear amongst your enemies, the other, you gotta be moving a little bit slower. Things are going to be a little bit crazier. So to say that everyone and everything is necessarily going to go smoothly for this season, I think is not going to be the case. I believe to take the cake, and that's about as big of a hint as I'm going to drop here. I think that's where we're going with this episode for the start of this season. This show has been absolutely fantastic start to finish from last season, and I have to go on record live in front of everyone here. I have a video on the YouTube channel. In fact, it's one of our most watched YouTube videos. I believed this show was going to fail. I called it out boldly, proudly, and loudly. I was wrong, I was foolish, and I was stupid. So, in short, I was wrong. The show has been nothing but phenomenal all the way throughout. I have not found a show that I've really been able to grab onto the way such as this. And Jason, same team. I love what's going on. We do not have a Discord at this time. That's how new we are relatively to this. So there's definitely going to be going on here. I do not know of any free applications. But yeah, we do not have a Discord right now. We're working on it. We are in the rough draft stages of things. We're trying to focus on creating content for both YouTube and for Twitch, trying to get ourselves close to 1,000 subscriber mark, which we'll have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway to you, the viewers. Maybe have a couple multiple winners. See where things go from there. And then we can start trying to be like, hey, here's a Discord channel. Here's this. Here's that. Want to have our primary focus on quality content for you, the viewers. Last thing you want to do is get up, get started, and be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to half-ass something that has absolutely no business being half-assed. Need to do everything going on. There's a lot of spoilers around there. Basically, everyone here will die. It's just a matter of when. Because we all know by the time Game of Thrones rolls around, nobody in this picture is rolling around anymore. But how things will play out this season is exactly what we're all dying to see. It's been a wild, wild ride, and I'm so happy I was wrong about this show. That I was so nervous that it was going to be bad because of the time skips. I didn't think or believe in my heart that ultimately the time skips were going to be able to be panned out in a well and tangibly done method. I thought they could go a couple more seasons. I think they could have had more stuff built in. I think there could have been more layers and more depth of character brought forward with it. The time skip turned out to be just fine. I do miss the young actors and actresses who portrayed their parts well, but at the same time, I definitely understand that certain things are okay being skipped. And at the end of the day, this show has definitely not suffered for it, and I'm very happy for that. Because I was also on the fence of, hey, what happens if this show, just to put things into perspective, went the route that the final season of Game of Thrones did? Because it's possible and tangible. However, none of that happened. This show was able to be fantastic start to finish. The plot was good. The action was great. The acting took things over the top. It's exactly what you want in a good show. No one is going to sit here and be like, oh, well, this was kind of boring and this didn't really pan out. It's like, yeah, there were moments. But overall, as the season went on, very rarely did we have moments in time where things got out of hand to the point where you were just like, all right, cool, let's wrap up this episode. We need to hurry things up. We need to hurry things along. Ultimately, no. Time skip didn't hurt anybody. And just to put things in perspective, from the USA, baby, from the good old USA, and I am rooting for the House of Black team. Black, that is exactly where loyalty is going to be lying for all of this season. Look, Game of Thrones game would be phenomenal. I've been a gamer since I was 5. The minute I was given a Game Boy, the ones without the light, without color, that's how old I am, just to date myself a little bit. I have felt this series with a game that could have kind of like, imagine if you played Baldur's Gate 3, you'll understand what I'm talking about, where your actions had consequences. Imagine that taking place within Westeros. That is a phenomenal game. You pick your house, you get to pick basically in a civilization esque build how you want to build things out, what kind of alliances you want to build, and then you get directly into the action of either forming alliances, breaking alliances, going to war, trying to claim the Iron Throne, and seeing how things react around you would be incredible. I think that's something that could be very easily done. And the fact that we saw George R. R. Martin definitely help with Elden Ring, I'm just saying, I felt the writing for that game was good. I don't play those games because when I game, I'm trying to relax. I'm not trying to be a little bit more how people would say it. It's not necessarily try hard, but it's exceptionally challenging. I can't get into it. But a long and short answer, Jason, I am 100% certain that if they did a Game of Thrones game with a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 and a little bit of Civilization put together, I think you could really, really have a fantastic title. And the fact that Larian is out there as a free agent and wants to be able to adapt some of their own stories, bringing them and doing something like this under the Warner Brothers mantle with how much money they have to throw at things, I'm just saying, Warner Brothers has made a couple great games. So to be able to get everything possibly done well, being able to have Westeros in a Baldur's Gate 3 style with Civilization, yo, that could really pop off and sell incredibly well. I'm just very, very excited ultimately to see where this season goes, though, because Team Black, Team Green, definitely rooting for Rhaenyra. Going to see how incredible this stuff can really kick off. Seeing if my boy Daemon is ultimately going to be the villain that most people anticipate he's going to be throughout this arc. Because let's just remember, as much as we like him, the dude plays without morals. So at the end of the day, things can tend to get out of hand fairly quickly. Same to you, Jason. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your night of House of the Dragons. We're back in Westeros, baby. Things are going to be very exciting for when we get back to that moment in time. And friendly reminder for everyone here, we will not be displaying the episode within the frames of this because it breaks rules, laws, and regulations that we do not have the ability to do so. I don't want to lead anybody on and make you guys believe we're going to do something that we won't. And speaking of all things great, look at this. He is back. The man, the myth, the marvel. How we doing? Welcome in.
Yeah, I just want to see some dragons. They got to roast some stuff. I'm here for it.
Because I mean, dragons are what we're all here to see, and now you have Dragon War. I mean, come on, that's so. Yep, you said it, DF. Up the greens. There's only one way to put things in perspective, and ultimately, the greens, I think, in episode one, are going to be taking it from a manner of perspective, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be something that's on the moral up and up. But hey, this is war. Whether it was ordered by Rhaenyra or it's just up to Daemon and his instruction, that is ultimately where my interests will lie in seeing how things ultimately play out. It's been a blessing so far seeing this show. There's so much good quality content coming out. And again, Will, I want to say while we're live, thank you so much for covering Kaiju number 8 for me yesterday morning for the viewers. I just finally watched the episode. Man, what a banger.
Man, like look, they are getting into it, and that's why I'm kind of waiting to see how all this television is going to be stepping up this summer and just kind of coming with banger after banger. So again, that one was great. They set up for a lot of hey, what's going to happen next, and you already know watching anything with House of the Dragon, it's always going to be like a what's going to happen next, like how is this about to go down? What twist are they going to throw in here that's going to just throw it on his head? So who are they going to kill in the first 5 minutes? That's what I want to know.
I mean, who are they going to kill by the end of the episode? Will it be someone important? Will it be someone who's minor? Or is it going to be something that's going to kick this war from minor gear into high gear? Because we know Aemon, while being the anime angst boy that he is, because he's a little bit of an edgelord, I don't really know how else to describe Aemon. He's trying to spend so much time just being Daemon while not being him. He's a D short, even though he is kind of a D in his own right. At the same time, Aemon kickstarted this war because he wanted to just bully someone, and then his dragon was like, "Hey, I've got a mind of my own. I'm going to make my own decision." And next thing you know, now we're missing a very important child and a dragon that got turned into mincemeat, which I still have to say, I'm still in a bit of shock after rewatching the end of season one a couple days ago. I still can't believe it happened and how well they were able to animate it and portray it on screen. This show, in its shock value, running along the same time that The Boys is, if you have dark humor or you like dark content, you're eating good. And for me, eating incredibly good right now. Which character for you stood out last season, or do you want to see more of this season?
Ooh, I want to see more this season. Honestly, I'm feeling, Rhaenyra. I really want to see more what she's gonna do, what she's capable of. Like, she's got my attention. Like, I really want to see how far she's willing to go to make things happen.
Because I mean, her son is the one who went missing, and everyone's always saying her kids are this, her kids are that. Well, at the end of the day, those kids are still hers. So the fact that now she has to like go on and be able to see anything, and Televids is right there where I'm at. Daemon, I want to see more of. I want to see him scheming. I want to see him making moves. I want to see him in action. He's considered the best swordsman in Westeros at this moment in time. I want to see what he can and cannot do at this time because this is war. This is his element of shining. If we remember when he was battling on the steps, everyone gave him an order and he was like, "Oh, hell no. I'm not doing this order. I'm not following this rule and command. I'm going to do exactly what I want to do when I want to do it." And then he went and took not only the entire beach by himself, but then he went and took out the leader by himself. At
Hmm.
the end of the day, he's a wild card that people need to look out for and need to respect when he's in action. It's going to be crazy to see what's going on here because there's a rumor. It's just a rumor right now, and I haven't been able to confirm it from a viable source that we could have a 2 episode long battle in this season, much akin to what Rings of Power may have later on in August. So it's going to be interesting. We're definitely not going to be hurting for anything. And my computer fan just turned on, so if you see me going blurry, it's just my computer is hot. So do apologize for that blurriness at this time. That being said, we are 3 minutes out. I'm very excited to see what we have going on. Welcome to all those who are joining in. Friendly reminder: we'll not be showing the episode within the confines of anything. I think the first episode is going to be amazing, Paolo. I think the first episode is going to be amazing until we get a large enough channel where we can get the blessings and the rights and the permissions to show the episodes. We'll be showing everything off screen because we've been working on this channel for, I want to say, a little over 2 years now. And we wanted to ensure that all of our quality was on the up and up and not have something taken down at that time. For those who recommended that we stream this through a Discord server, that's something to think about. That's something we haven't been able to do thus far, but I'm definitely not opposed to having watch parties with the viewers in that regard. So maybe something down the line we could do as a, geek variant community should we decide to, get that Discord more active than we definitely have been. So
Well, yeah, the Discord should be getting ready to be up and running before the end of the month. So I'm just trying to work out all the particulars, make sure I understand. Because again, me and Discord, I'm learning more about Discord as we go. So
because
it'll
I'm
definitely be
definitely
in the works.
oh yeah, I'm definitely not as familiar with certain elements of technology as I'd love to say I am. I know how to, leave memes, make jokes, have a good time on Discord, as opposed to running a full time Discord. That's something I would definitely need help doing. And it's definitely something where, hey, taking a look at mods, taking a look at people from the community who are there for going on. I don't think there is a free streaming website for this. HBO just raised the rate. If you aren't a member for them, you can start a week-long trial so you can get the episode now. I was going to say I had to take a look and make sure that my HBO was good to go this morning because it's been a long, long time since I have been really worried about it. The episode has dropped. So the episode 59 minutes long. Let's see if we crash HBO. Let's all check it out now. Episode 1 is up now. Yep. Episodes on Max. Let's all enjoy, have a fantastic time, and talk about all things in the chat here together.
All right, yeah,
Just saying.
definitely. Take a look at this recap one more time. Make sure I didn't miss nothing.
Okay. And serial killer, I see you over there. Nice SpongeBob photo, by the way. But that's a bold prediction for episode 1. We may be heading down that route. The book does have moments like that happen. We'll see how things ultimately play out for everybody and for everything at that time. It's been a long 2 years. Because, I mean, we started very, very small around the time this show dropped. Now look where we're at today, thanks to you, the viewers. It's been incredible. So if you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. It's free. Subscribe, also free. Greatly helps us out. We'll have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway once we get closer to that mark. We're going to enjoy some great House of the Dragons in the meantime. So I'll stop the selfish self-promoting.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Episodes every time. What's up?
You think they're gonna cause remember oh boy, and again I'm gonna be bad with names. He stole the dragon from her, the queen's dragon of what, Vagar? Is that how you say it?
Yes, the world's biggest dragon at that time.
Yeah, you think they're gonna there gonna be some more dragon stealing, swapping at some point?
There are dragons that are unclaimed that people will be going after. And that's going to be where everyone's primary focus is lying, is claiming the large dragons that are wild. That's where Daemon was going, singing Old Valyrian to that dragon to try and soothe it and build that bond. That's exactly what he was trying to do. So it's going to be interesting to see when we get the big dragon fight, because everyone is building up to this moment right now where Aemon is trying his damnedest to be Daemon. Will they finally clash and figure out who's the best of the best? That is something the books cover, and I will not spoil for those who do not know. Welcome in, C-Rod, Shaban, welcome in, welcome in. It's going to be lit. The whole season is going to be fantastic. But Aegon really needs to like sober his stuff up. Are you done with the recap?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure where we're at because I didn't catch up. I just wanted to make sure we were semi close to synced. Episode is up. Let's go. And the fact Max hasn't crashed. Remember this, Crunchyroll. Remember this. You crash all the time for no reason. Max is just like, this is how it's done. Because this is going to be a worldwide premiere. And try and pay attention to everything going on in the opening. Game of Thrones probably has the best opening in major television period. I can't even cover all those letters. The best thing you can do a max trial. It's 1 week free. Just keep changing your email each and every week. Might be a workaround. Just saying. But you have to have that many email accounts, so I ain't willing to do all that. I just pay for it.
How many episodes is it supposed to be?
This season, I believe, is going to be 8 because it was 10 last season, and I think there's a rumor it's going to be 8 for the season after this. They already got greenlit for season 3. Okay. Which, I mean, color me shocked.
I mean, like it was saying, you know, that 9th episode was always a doozy during Game of Thrones. So
yeah, I'm still recovering emotionally from the Red Wedding the first time that happened. So, I mean, did you watch Game of Thrones in its entirety when it dropped?
I didn't watch, like, as it dropped. I watched the first 4 seasons kind of as it was dropping, but I didn't get to watch the rest of it until probably after because we were dealing with deployment stuff.
That would be fun to have a live watch along after that moment in time, but I have to say Ryan Condal has done a fantastic job resurrecting people's faith in this series.
Mm-hmm.
And George R. R. Martin's name is still up there, so that's good. How much is left? Probably 2 seasons will be up. Probably 2 seasons. See, and then, yep, Blood and Cheese are the names of the 2 people I believe we're going to get to know quite well this episode if we're going that route for the shock value of episode 1 that Game of Thrones is known for. Are we going to show? Oh, sorry about that. I don't know where you would be able to watch that then. Part of me wants to know where you're from, but the other part of me doesn't want to pry because it ain't none of my business. We're going to see the Starks first. Oh, Persephone's got a great one. Yep, use a VPN. That's a good workaround. Ooh, Winterfell.
Mm.
Home of the Starks.
Blood and cheese.
And just so we're aware, the Starks just overthrew the previous rulers in the north between seasons, like during that time skip, which is an important thing that they skipped. But the Starks from here on out will be, out here doing their thing. Max USA, Tim, Max in USA. But yeah, we are back. Mod, we are back. Ooh, can I?
Yep, new opening for sure.
Definitely. What's up, Ashley? How we doing? Welcome in from Twitch. The new Lord Stark, Team Small Folk. Yeah. Winter's coming now. Winter came, baby. We came early.
Mm. War is always coming.
Oh yeah, they're playing that Winterfell theme nice and quietly. I thought it was Jon Snow there talking for a minute, which would have been amazing to see Kit Harington in some capacity, even if it's just everything. We are not playing a game. We are watching House of the Dragons off screen. Yes.
We do play games decently. We're setting up to play some other games here in the future. Waiting on that Grand Theft Auto 6, some more freaking Elder Scrolls, Fable. Oh, I can't wait for Fable.
Dragon Ball Z, Spark.
Sparking Zero.
Like, let's go. We're streaming the episode off screen. We do not have legal rights, permissions, and authorities to have it on screen, if that's what you're waiting on. I did say a couple times early on that we wouldn't have it up, but for those just joining, I do apologize for not re-referencing that for you guys, the viewers. I'm sure someone else will have it live and might have the rights and permissions. David Lightbringer on YouTube might have it. He's a large enough channel, he might get that following. The North is so beautiful. They did a fantastic job bringing George R.R. Martin's vision to life like this.
No Arabic translation as far as I know. English, Croatian, Czech, Danish, Estonian. Several in subtitles, not as much in audio.
Yeah. We'll be streaming all of these episodes, but we will not be having them on screen streaming, if that's what you make sense. So streaming by means we'll have it off screen. We'll be always here for watch parties with you, the viewers, so you guys get first crack at our thoughts, our opinions when the episode's fresh, when our thoughts are raw, all that good talk. Because they're forming alliances right now is what they're working on.
The setup is okay.
The North barely bends for anybody. Yes, episode 1 is up for everybody. The episode will not be on screen, so everyone is perfectly clear. Winter's always coming. Always. Here's our first sight of a dragon. It took only, what was that? Yeah, 11 minutes. Pretty quick. Trying to form that alliance with the North, which is a very smart move on any part. The queen that never was. Respect to her. The episode is already up, Mr. Biscuit or Mrs. Biscuit. Episode is already up. We're 11 minutes in at this moment in time. Mm. Daemon is scheming.
He's always scheming.
I always appreciate that he's at least working on making sure everything goes through. But at the same time, sometimes no action's better than some action. Yeah, you can't really mourn your son because he's in the belly of a dragon. I was going to say it's been a week or 10 days afterwards. The episode is already up. We will not be broadcasting it on screen. If you're looking for that, certain channels may have rights, permissions, and legal reasons to do so. We cannot, unfortunately. Once our channel's bigger, who knows? She's she's like, I don't even care. Just walks right away. I still want to know, did Daemon get the other large dragon, or is he going to be riding his traditional mount? I probably should just pin the comment.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Might help a little bit. Trying to build their. Oh, I forgot he was limping. Nice to see the House of Valyria represented properly by that lord.
Just hope he doesn't lose his head.
Right? Don't want to get too carried away. Because he was a sailing lord for a long, long time. That thing is beaten. You think they're fighting dragons with those ships?
I wouldn't be surprised. If you can take a dragon out the air and dunk it in the water so then try to drown it, I mean,
It's the only option you necessarily have. He seems a little apprehensive on holding that weapon. Daemon's trying all the wrong people right now, Persephone. He's trying all the wrong people.
he really
That's just how he handles business. Rainey's ain't like that. She's been around a minute and she's not going to let these youngsters push her around.
Get them ballistas around.
I was going to say, that's a big dude. He would be able to drag him out of the sea. Everyone's got great manners. Gotta love it, gotta love it. The episode is up, Decay. It's the top comment directly under me. Oh yeah, C-Rod. She's not someone you want to mess with. And now we get to see the treacherous greens. God, they did such a good job with armor. There is season 1 recap there, house people, and it's on Max Decay.
Yeah, if you have Max, I know Amazon's showing it. If you have Max and it's connected, you can watch it through the Amazon app if you have a Max account.
Trying to figure out it's the right dragon. Yep, there's good old Vagar. Do not mess with him. Yeah, they got all the modern upgrades here. But it's right that those modern technologies would have been lost by the time Game of Thrones showed up. Because you don't really need to take out a dragon if there are none. Maybe check Amazon, potentially. And Aegon is doing Aegon things.
Yeah, I know they did with the first season of House of Dragon. I think they allowed you to watch the first episode for free. You could buy the first episode for $0 and then buy the whole season for $7.99 of season 1. So they're probably gonna do something similar with season 2, where they probably let you watch the first episode to get hooked, and then sign up for an account or whatever.
I just also need to find a way to put Persephone's comment at the top. Use a VPN. Always a great idea. Okay. Well, that's happening. Queen's getting hers.
Oh yeah. I'm not a fan of old boy.
Basically, if you're a queen, he's got a thing for you. He's I still can't believe he asked Rhaenyra to run away with him. Yeah, I'm gonna give up my queenship for you. Like the D ain't that good.
Never. Why?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. This is definitely going to be interesting to see how things progress. Because remember what Aegon's wife said, I'm worried. She has the gift of foresight and some prophecy. But she's always looked at as crazy.
Mm-hmm.
House Lannister still there?
Better leave that prince alone.
I'm gonna say you having your ball in the little sphere isn't all that important.
Yeah, he ain't laughing. Like seriously, you better get down and
Hmm. Mm. Yeah, there's not gonna be no peace. Killed her kid. It's too much. Is the air to throne bothering you?
Man,
He can have it. It's whatever. Yeah, they were changing roles for Stephanie. I guess he goes on her, and then she puts him back together. About as crass as I can make it. While still following censorship rules. The Lannisters getting just whipped around left and right. Yeah. Otto, I don't know why you're worried about ending conflict quickly. You started this. This was
yeah.
entirely your scheme. Sorry, it came home to roost. Usually, I think the phrase is "Don't start none, won't be none."
No, he ain't got patience.
No,
He does not have it. He is going to lose his collective
it's a
mind.
Targaryen trait.
Oh yeah, him. Freaking. Can't remember his name. He started a bunch of crap though.
Everyone started a bunch of crap for Team Green. That's just kind of how they roll. Yeah, because a dragon was killed by another dragon. He's a very flippant king, which seems to be falling directly in the Targaryen line. Oh, and then this guy, Mr. Foot. Well, yeah, whoever knows where I was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was disposed, all right. She was splayed, would be a nice way of saying it. She was open for business. How is this guy doing all of this? Is he like our new Littlefinger? Ah, he is.
I'll be surprised. That's what it seems like. And I hope he catches it just like Littlefinger did.
But again, he's going to be probably watching her bath and looking at her feet. So she's just a busy woman. Leading from the front and from the back.
Big thumb.
I mean, that's one way of putting it. Yeah, everyone get out. I'm going to go have this dude look at my feet because reasons. Or she's just trying to wash off the shame in which she feels. Because you got that shoulder pretty good. Like, I don't know how much you got to go over one spot. The rest of you probably use some work. Another beautiful dragon. Seeing people go to and from on the beach. I wonder if Rhaenyra's figured out what everyone else is doing. while she's been mourning. Oh, oh. She could have ended everybody in one fell swoop right there. How about crowd control? Oh,
Her wrath will be immense when it finally comes down. Like,
because that's all that's left of her son's dragon. Oh, damn. That's tough. And his coat. Yeah. I was wondering why they were so implicit in the fact they showed like the wing shooting off with a bit of clothing. This makes a little bit more sense now.
Hmm.
Never get between a mother and her offspring. And her dragon is feeling sadness as well because of their internal bond. That's why the dragon's trying to comfort her like, a dog would comfort its owner, albeit a little bit more dangerously. Everyone's walking like they gotta stick up their butt. Most uncomfortable chair in all of Westeros. Mm, mm,
mm. He tried to be nice for a second.
mm. And this guy is just scoping on everybody, making sure Otto is not superseding the king. They won't know.
Okay.
Like, it is crazy that he wants to be loved this much. He's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. But will it be enough for him?
Mm. It's like, I just got what I wanted and then just got slapped down. No, well, that's forward. If you had spies in that camp, they know what's happening now. Mm. Ooh.
The small folk. You keep coming up trying to cut me down while I'm trying to be my kingly self.
Mm. Mm. The struggle is definitely real on this one. Like, it's finding that balance between appeasing and not having this going on.
Mm.
And then Otto's going to show back up. Just kind of, no, no. I do my job. You go. It's wild. I mean, it's the right call. You pay the people that are going to be making your war weapons. You don't pay them, you get no weapons. This guy is definitely making a lot of moves here.
Yeah. Trying to get some people outed.
This dude's got a silver tongue.
He does. It's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be real big trouble.
If he can out auto, yo. I don't know if that's better or worse though for Team Black. That's tough. Because he's doing the right scheming. It's a problem.
If he
Auto
outs
time's gonna end quick.
if he outs Otto without killing him, then Otto could end up trading secrets to the other team.
Rainier would sooner off him than
She'll
take
take what she can get from him and off him. It's not going to be pleasant.
Yeah. Because the fact he's out here, unbeknownst to him, knowing what's going on with his daughter behind closed doors. Mm. 3 failed kings would be the correct way of saying that. A hand of 3 failed kings. The hand is not supposed to outlive the king.
The more the hand can outlive the king, the more he can control the king.
Because Tywin, I think, is the only one who outlived the king during Game of Thrones, and that was because the other king was the Mad King, whose son, Those boys aren't listening to you already, Mom. They do not care. They're past that.
Hmm.
Time to get everyone's hands dirty. Who will strike first? This is the joys of war. The other gold cloak. Sounded like cattle? Yep, goats. Yep, people hiding.
Hmm.
Is that his ex-wife?
Yeah, the girl that he was with in the first season.
Oh,
You mad?
well, he's catching verbal hands from her. Damon's just getting slapped around this episode. Mm, come on. Someone's got some good information here somewhere. I'd just be pissed. Like, my ex is selling everything out to the enemy. Great. Yep. See, Rod. Yep. There will be blood.
The brothers see the brothers fight.
Yeah. Mm. Lot to really break down here. Lot to really break down between Damon's temper tantrum and everything else that's ongoing. Nope. His wife's back. Mm.
Oh yeah, she. Oh boy.
She's not here for any games right now. Those girls got a little bit older in the 10 days that transpired. What is she going to say about this? There we go. Set the bar really high to start things off and then just walk off. Okay.
Transaction.
Is this guy really going to let her out? Oh, no, Damon's back. Hmm. He's following orders. How directly, though? We'll find out.
Still a mother.
Oh yeah. Mom is home and she's taking care of business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're both mourning because he's had to put on the same face she's had to. I bet he's did a great job considering how much younger he is, and he still just went out and handled his business. Hmm.
Okay.
They once were friends, and now look at them. Other ends of the world trying to scheme how to get rid of each other. Forgot he had another brother. Was that his son? I always forget how many kids she had. Do you remember how many kids Rhaenyra had? Was it two or three?
Is it 3?
Might have been 3. Even though I did the season 1 recap, I wasn't like counting heads like I should have. From blood there will be wrath. One of these episodes, I want them like doing a spy mission and someone just humming like "row, row, row your boat" just loud enough that people can pick up the audio on it. Yeah. Stay on.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Making friends in low places. Also, is Matt Smith that short or this guy just that big? Mm. Allison's definitely up there on the hate list.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Dang, that's a lot of money. Looking for the next best option. I'm sure he still gets paid. Yeah. Those pieces are really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
It must be terrible sitting there waiting for war to take out. It's not your mother's fault. P.S. I'm not biased, but I may or may not have been with her earlier just today.
You know,
Because in that guy's case, you are what you eat. This dude spends less time wearing his armor than anybody else on the force.
There's things at play that you can't see. Hint, hint.
Yeah, sure, take a shot. I have an eye missing. Thanks. My dragon could eat you, sir.
Some tells me both of y'all finna die.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of survivors on either side. Oh, look at the little puppy. Little doggo. Hmm. They work exceptionally fast. Got paid, immediately went in.
Yep, like, we're gonna get this done.
Oh, good old blood and cheese. Bring the dog. What do we need the dog for? I understand being fond for a pet, but needing it are a whole nother situation entirely. Drinking on the throne.
It's like no one knows what magnanimous means. You can be Aegon the Generous. I mean, same thing, just dumbing it down. The generous, the merciful. I never thought I'd hate another woman more than Cersei. Yeah, and Alicent.
Queen Alicent, the Foot Finder. I mean, she's not exactly selling them out for scraps. Getting vital information.
Hey, you gotta keep the dog. See, as much as that, yeah, freaking the guy you're looking for needs to die. Freaking, you have to kick the dog. Like now you got to die because you hitting a dog. I'm not a, I'm not a fan.
These two morons. Oh, okay. That wasn't necessary. But you are a sellsword, so kicking a dog. Great. I think you are ahead of me.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna roll it back 10 seconds because still I'm
They're
mad.
just climbing the stairs right now.
I think the dog was probably something like a diversion, like, oh yeah, we're lost. We were looking for the dog or something like that, maybe.
And now they don't have the dog.
He just took the gold off the damn table. Boy,
I mean, you
greedy
got
as
to take the
hell.
money where you can get it.
Set the trap.
Oh, sure. We're sending the bloodthirsty guy out into the next room. Fantastic decision.
He gonna see something else. Is gonna get his attention.
I mean, his eyeballs are clearly searching for something shiny.
He's looking for stuff of value. Period.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be able to really distinguish between everything else. Oh, hi. How are you? Ah, yeah.
She's gonna die.
She's like, there should be rat catchers at this hour. Because if you're truly trying to trap rats, you should be quite good at it. Yep. She got away. The whole plan is now. Oh, the queen's wife. No. Oh, her kids.
Oh.
Mm,
Mm-mm.
maybe.
Mm.
She's not gonna give up either one. Is
I think freaking she knows the importance. She'll sacrifice the daughter to keep the son alive.
or they'll just kill them both. Because at this point, if I'm a sellsword, I'm not really distinguishing between both. Just boop boop. I got the job done. He's like, I know you're
Yeah,
lying. Go to the other one.
so I thought she's not gonna give up the king's heir that easy.
Oh, yeah. About to get messy. Uh, try and get a head start.
The king is gonna lose his mind though.
He's drunk in mine, yes. Yeah, like I would just find a way. I'm not really necessarily looking for too much. Oh, there's Allison again.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering who's gonna freaking die, but I did
Well,
not
me.
expect that one. Whoo,
I
boy.
mean, honestly, if it was going to be done any differently, like, whew, that was something.
That's brutal. That's
House of the
boy.
Dragons, Game of Thrones.
I don't know what.
Maybe if you kept, the guards on guard duty, um, these things wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, where is the guards? Like, where is like?
The gold cloaks, the security, all the hired hands were preparing for war, and this happens of all damn things. Whew. And the fact that they actually included the sounds and made them as graphic and as dark as they did, to drive home the realism of the moment while still not necessarily showing what was happening. It was a good director's choice there. That being said, what do you think the repercussions of these?
Oh, the repercussions are going to be immense. And so at that, because you saw the king was very, very attached. So freaking the fact that he's gone, like, oh, I don't know, man. Like this is about to get real bloody real quick. Yeah, I definitely see this 2 episode war going down without question now. Like there is no way they can not do this because of you're setting the bar this high on the first episode as far as espionage. We're finna murder some royalty. We finna come in and shank somebody and get on and just get ready to display a head and all kinds of stuff. Like, but they weren't even supposed to be going after the kids, were they?
No, they were hired to kill
Freaking
and
Aemon,
they
right?
never looked for him. They just, I guess this was Plan B, and it's very well done because in the book, it's never implicitly stated that Daemon wanted the kids to die.
Yeah,
He wanted Aemon to die because it'd be an eye for an eye. We're all cool. Everyone can move on, sort of, or at least we'll have things taken care of in that regard. Because Aemon is their greatest and most powerful asset. If he goes, then things
son
go
for a son.
crazy.
You were spot on, spot on.
All the book readers knew. All the book readers knew. Because
Yeah,
there was rumors from that people that got it early that said this was going to be a shock value episode.
Oh, it's definitely a shock because I haven't read the book stuff, so I like watching the show and kind of see where it's going. But the simple fact that you're told to look for this, and then they kind of cut away when it's like, well, what if we can't find them? If we can't find them, then Damon probably said like, "Hey, yo, oh yeah, Rhaenyra, she's gonna be pissed because that's not what she wanted.
She specifically stated what she wanted.
This is not what she wanted. So this is stoking the fire so hard.
It's gonna be messy.
Oh, it's gonna be so messy, bloody, hateful, freaking destructive. Like this is going to be a war of ridiculous proportions. In this season right now is going to go off the chain.
Because yeah, Daemon said if you can't find him, figure something out.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Never give sellswords vague instructions. So hey, either kill Aemon or kill the king. They could have killed the king. That entire room was wasted. You just had to run up and be faster than everyone else, and in their drunken stupor, you could have.
And it was right there at the entrance too, like where they just came in at. Is like they could have easily freaking slaughtered the bunch, freaking, and then freaking hightailed it back out the way they came, and probably freaking would have had some time. Like freaking, there was I saw one guard. I gotta go back and watch this. I saw one guard
on each end, so there's maybe two at most.
So you take the two guards out, freaking. Yeah, it was a slow build up for sure. So at that, but it was a slow build up for that shock value at the end. That's what, like, again, they're built. They sat there. They built up the tension. What are we mad about? We're mad about freaking the death that happened last season. Retribution is to be had. Still want retribution for Eye. They didn't give me retribution for the Eye, so freaking, took the dragon out. So it's like it's constantly freaking one for one, and it's just who's gonna keep one up in the other one. So this whole episode was about building that all the way up into the wrong decision. So, and then the guttural sounds of sawing the kid's head off to go take it back. Like, yo, this is, man. Oh boy.
Rhaenyra is not going to be pleased in the slightest. And then on top of that, we saw actual good in Aegon. As wild as he has been, he was like, I want to do right by the people. I want the people to love me. I want the people to endorse me. I want things to go well. even though at the same time he's like still kind of talking tongue in cheek with his rich friends, like everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be okay, everything's just gonna keep moving in this regard. Then you took out his pride and joy, his baby boy. And like as a parent, there's probably no other worse feeling in the entirety of existence. So for this to have played out in the manner and form and fashion in which it did, yo, things are going to go even further down the rabbit hole than we are already at. There is now no morals, there's no glory, and there's going to be no winner because you're just losing family members at this point, and the free folk are just caught in the middle of this shitstorm because there's no other way of really going about things. It's just dragons over here, dragons over here, farmers hanging out with his goat, and it's going to be just covering Westeros in its most insane bout of debauchery that it will ever see up until we get to the events right before Game of Thrones. This won't be necessarily as messy. Well, this will be messier than Robert's Rebellion, but at the same token, it's going to be something that is going to have significant ramifications for how everything plays out. And it was amazing to see that we got to see Winterfell. We got to see the North. We got to see the Wall. We got to see some part of Westeros that we have tons of attachment to because we've spent 9 seasons or 8 seasons or whatever it was loving Game of Thrones and everything that it imparted to us, regardless of how the final season played out. But at the same token, House of the Dragons has done such a great job of healing so many fans and bringing things kind of back for a lot of us and showing us that aside of the fact that we got what we got with Game of Thrones, that this series and this IP, this international intellectual property, when George R. R. Martin is at the helm, things will go fantastically. And I'm sure everyone who is an avid book reader, I'm sure you would prefer George not being a part of this so that he could be focused on finishing the book sometime while we're alive. But by the same token, I'm sure TV only viewers are just through the moon that the series is continuing in all of its bloody, over the top, sexually provocative glory that it has been for God knows how long, and see how things will continue to expand and play out even further. You got anything else we wanted to discuss, Will, while we're here?
And I'm just still like reeling right now. This is a bloodbath for sure. Absolutely right. I am. This next episode is gonna go off the handle. Like it's got to go off the handle. Like they're gonna ramp things up from here on out, and I feel like there's gonna be the rate that you're gonna see. So I was expecting again, Rhaenyra's rage to like come in and be something that boils over, but now I feel like because of this mistake that was made, she's gonna be quelled a little bit because it's like, oh crap, like that shouldn't have happened, and now freaking Alicent and freaking the king, like they're finna go overdrive, freaking like it's finna be full all out attack from green to black because they're gonna know they're like black did this, black did something, we don't know how they did it, but they did it, and they're finna come at black with guns blazing, and this is gonna just rip open the freaking bloodbath.
Honestly, I could see next week going a more council heavy episode where people are just forming everything up and getting everybody into position and kind of letting this be a burn where Rhaenyra and Daemon continue to have a further divide in their relationship because things were tumultuous at best already. But now that Daemon explicitly and implicitly went without her consent, without her permission, and without her guidance, and just had a child taken out of this world, honestly, she's probably going to backhand the ever loving goodness out of him for everything that has just played out, regardless of good or bad or indifferent. She's going to feel some kind of way that he is entirely responsible for this. And I said this before the episode got going and before you joined in that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff to go through here. And we're all reeling very, very much emotionally right now as fans. Cause like, especially if you're a parent, you can sympathize extra with everything that Helena is going through. And the fact that, you know, we had the queen going through everything that she did go through, and she's just continued to be not minding security for her family and for her, grandkids, that things to have played out in this form and this fashion is just wild to me. It is absolutely just wild to me that in this day and age, this kind of stuff can still happen. Because, most TV shows are like, hey, we'll kind of soften things up. And then there's Game of Thrones, where there is absolutely
yeah.
There's absolutely no filters. There's no PG. They're just gonna go guns out, guns blazing. Like, hey, if you read the books, you know what we're about. We're about this action.
And they knew what they were doing. They dropped this episode on Father's Day. And then there's freaking this about like I'm freaking hurting right now.
Yeah, because Helena literally gave up the heir because she probably didn't want him to turn out the way that his father has. So in a way, it's a mercy, but at the same time, as a parent, it's like both your kids' lives are in jeopardy. Pick one. How is this possible? It's not a possible decision. It's an illogical and improbable and difficult decision for anyone to have to make. So for her to be in that spot and then like have to decide in those seconds while her life is in the balance to figure out how to make this work, we all sympathizing with Helena right now.
And how far she had to run to go find someone to tell. Like somebody should have been there. Guards should have been posted. Something like, come on.
Like, you have a service called the King's Guard. Why weren't they guarding the king's family? Everyone on break? Everyone drunk? What's going on here? We need some kind of explicit just definition of where people are. Like, the first thing I'm doing as king is pulling in all of my guards right here, right now, and be like, look, you guys are gonna have some stuff to answer for, and we're gonna be very straight up about this. Where were you at the time that this was happening? And I need specifics, and if you guys are saying you're all with each other, I need to know why you're with each other and not with my family.
It's on the like the fact is that you're so busy getting drunk and having wild romps and stuff like that instead of freaking making sure that your family's safe, knowing you're in the middle of a freaking war, knowing that you got this fighting going on, knowing that freaking the other side's son was killed brutally by a dragon, ripping apart their dragon with them like, and that fault, like, which in my head somewhere is like, is because if you don't see a body, it's possible that somebody survived.
He gone.
Some type of way. So that it's just the way my mind works. Is if I don't see a body,
in Marvel Land too long.
I know, right? It really is. It really is. But it's just like, okay, freaking, like, you were too busy getting drunk and doing whatever, so that, and you did not make sure your family's protected. That is on you. That is on you. It's like freaking if I'm going out and stuff like that, freaking I got my dogs on freaking alert. I got the security system going. Freaking I got things in place. But I'm a homebody.
People posted where they need to be.
Exactly. At any point in time, freaking help is around the corner if necessary, without hesitation. There was no one there, no one to freaking help, and the only one who could have helped was freaking too busy getting ridden, freaking to pay attention or see anything else going on. Those guards, the guards that watch those guys walk in, there you got so many people walking around the castle like it ain't nothing. The fact that them guards
You get
sat
like
there,
badge, ID, who you with, where you
there's a
going, who
straight
you
line of
working
sight,
for.
straight line of sight. Freaking, it's like you didn't see these guys just walk in. You ain't gonna question them and stop them or something.
They were lucky in the sense that it was a shadowed area. They emerged from darkness. That plays to the guard's advantage of plausibility and plausible deniability. I'm not saying it's correct, but they did a great job from the director's standpoint of having them emerge from complete darkness and shadow. And earlier on in the episode, they show where the guy who has the metal foot, where he's limping around at, was in the shadows. It's hard to see. It is an obscured area. So having people sneak through that particular area where it's dark and it's at night, it's a fantastic play. Sure, you would have been a little perturbed that all of a sudden a torch just appears out of the darkness. But
yeah, torch appeared out, but they
should have been asked.
Yeah, they walked.
Questions need to be done.
I'm looking at it. They walked straight in the direction of a guard down the stairs. Straight, they passed between two guards to go where they're going. Right in front of the throne, no question. 4 guards. There's 4 guards sitting right there, and they just walk right through. People that have not been recognized in the castle before, never been up there, so like that. No one questions them.
Nope. Could not have been bothered to ask questions or ideas or try and figure things out. And as such, poor Helena is the one truly suffering. And you notice that they painted her in season 1 as kind of a figure we can all get along with. We can all sympathize with. She's not truly as evil as her 2 brothers. She's not gone like they are. But at the same time, she was always perceived as a little odd. But now the odd woman just lost her firstborn son in a horrific attack.
Yo, I don't know. I don't know. I'm hurting. C-Rods, Bleon. I hope I see y'all freaking next week because we gotta talk about this shit. Y'all are on the same page as me right now. Like, this hurts so much. It's like I don't know. What are you gonna do?
It's a tough thing to witness. It was even harder learning some of the lore and some of the things going on. Hey, what's up, Jess? What's up? Welcome in from Twitch. Friendly reminder to everybody. Easiest way of finding us, hit that subscribe button or that follow button. Both are free. We will be live streaming next week's episode just as we did this one. It will not be on screen. We do not do that. We don't have legal rights, authorities, or permissions in order to do so. But we'll be here talking about all of the episode as it pertains to the series. And like, what are you doing playing with your little Skyrim dragon?
Hey man, freaking! I'm just again these dragons about to come into play again. I want to see dragons, and I want to see dragons do some work. So freaking, I'm waiting to see the dragons really go to work.
Because you're gonna see them in all of their glory and all of their destruction, all of their heinousness, and just the obscurity in which that these actions can do. Is Will is basically going through it right now. Will is newer to this universe than I am, so I'm kind of numb to it. If I had a live watch along with Will for the seasons of Game of Thrones that he missed, he would be weeping, and I would just be sitting here just stone faced, be like, "Yep, this is the hell in which I was built. This is where everything kind of transpired. This is where, like if you're a gamer, you could remember the old Call of Duty lobbies on Xbox." The hells where men were forged in the
like
terrible lobbies possible.
And you're like, I'm all about freaking the gore, the violence. We want to see stuff on freaking Hodor. Like, yeah, like that hurt too. That hurt. I was like, man, it's like you get invested in these characters. You're trying to see what's going on. You don't know when somebody's gonna freaking die or just how. But this hits me especially hard. Just being a father and just looking, just like, yeah. As a parent, how do you deal with that? How do you make that choice? How do you
trying to run through the logic of it yourself, trying to be like, what about this?
Freaking,
what about that? And then we're happy you're healing up, Chess. Wishing all the best for you there. But like as a parent, things are tough. Like no one as a parent is gonna be able to sit here and be like, I can choose my whichever child is my favorite. Like just snap your fingers, figure it out. Be like, it's like it's not a fair choice. It's not a reasonable choice. It's not a logical choice. So the fact she had to make this choice and then watch and hear it happen is heinous. Which again, this universe in Westeros, if there's a fantasy universe in which you can live and insert yourself into, this should not be it by any means. Things are beautiful visually. What people are actually doing behind the scenes,
You don't know if you're gonna make it
heinous.
through the night.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't make it maybe like 2 hours. I'm just gonna put it honestly. Like fighting ain't my strong suit, so you're putting me with, people who are just the worst of the worst morally and are significantly larger than I am and tougher than I am. Nah, man, I ain't gonna try and pretend flex for nobody. I am what I am. This is what it is. But each and every week we'll have these shows streamed for you guys. Our next stream is scheduled for Tuesday. We'll be continuing on with the Acolyte, which hopefully gets better. Hopefully. But to heal all of our wounds, we still have The Boys on Thursday. Saturday morning, we still have My Hero Academia. Sundays, Demon Slayer, which we have 2 episodes left. I want to say of Demon Slayer. And obviously, Sundays will be our double feature because House of the Dragons. We will be back for, without a shadow of a doubt, to hang out with you guys, the community, talk about all things geek. And C-Rod, you took the words out of my mouth. It was
It like I said, I'll admit that it served a purpose for explaining some stuff in the back, but it still does not help it. It still does not help the show at all. Like,
because they destroyed the lore, and the more you look at it, the worse it gets. And I've seen some heinous
yeah,
jokes being made about how Disney is being woke has backfired. And then someone made a horrible, horrible dark joke that I can't repeat on air because of how bad it was, but it perfectly summarized the blindness in which Disney has shown in creating certain IPs in this regard, in this form of fashion. Whoever greenlit this project, I'm sorry, I don't see it at this time. The fact it got twice the budget Kenobi did just further drives home how I
really?
feel about it. It got 180 million.
Give
Kenobi
it
got
back.
90.
Give it back.
And you want to know the funniest thing? You know that new Godzilla movie, Godzilla, I think -1, the one that won like all the awards and
Yeah,
fans
just
love
got
it.
dropped on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah. One episode of The Acolyte is 4 times more expensive than that Godzilla show was. Just to put things in a financial perspective. It's like, sure, the sets are beautiful, the costumes are nice. Did we hire any writers? SOS on writers, directors. But again, we're talking about House of the Dragons. I'll bring it on back because I have a habit of taking things off cue. Tony, I'm sure, will give me crap later on for that, in which case, if you watch it all the way to this point, Tony, that's fair. But I'm going to assume you didn't. But any other tangents aside, yeah, you said it, not me. I can only say so much, C-Rod. I can only say so much. Sometimes being up in the public, I'm air quoting here, spotlight, you're able to say certain things, but other times you kind of have to err on the side of caution. And Will saw me almost lose it several times over during our live stream, but we'll be back for it. House of the Dragons, though, far, far looking forward to. I think this was a strong first episode.
Yes. I think it will.
I think this and The Boys are going to be really exciting to see. I still wish Amazon was a little bit more specific about when they dropped their episode times. I've been trying to frantically look up when that drops. So we'll appreciate that. But I wish Amazon was just more specific on when they had their release time, because we didn't figure out The Boys release time. So keep an eye on the live stream for that watch time. It could be subject to moving around dependent upon what they decide to do with things. And we at Geek Variants like to be first, foremost, and the most accurate. So our intel and our feedback is as raw and unfiltered as it can be. Say it's not like swayed by like, hey, we learned this new information, so therefore this. We still want to provide high quality videos, but at the same time, we want to be quick with it. If that
I just
makes
want to talk about
sense.
stuff. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about everything that's coming out that I'm seeing, that I'm watching. I want to know what everybody else thinks, because somebody may have an opinion or a thought on something that I didn't think about, and it'll change my whole view or send me in a different direction or off on a different tangent. I don't know, but hey,
So
every show that
most
we
of our viewers are smarter than we are. I'm just gonna be blunt with it. You guys are smarter than we are. If you could hear the stupid conversations that we have off camera, I'm sure you guys would be like, really? We're subscribed to these guys?
yeah,
So it's like, well, hey, we appreciate each and every one of you. I don't really have too much else to break down in this episode. And before we end up just divulging on tangent after tangent, did we want to wrap up this live stream at this time?
yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and get wrapped up. I think the only thing I'm looking forward to for next episode, or I'll say for the series, is I definitely want to see Amon still get his at some point. So I want to see if we're gonna get and I'm gonna butcher these names, Jakaris and Amon.
Jakaris.
Jakaris. I want to see if they're gonna, go at it, or him and Aegon the second. If they're gonna face off. Like I want the boys to kind of go at it and settle some stuff. I don't
And
think.
don't forget about the girls. They are also dragon riders. They're very prominent, and they'll have significant roles to play, hopefully within the land of Westeros. Because I mean, this isn't your traditional medieval fantasy where women sit around and do nothing. They are very prominent. They have a lot of parts to play, and they're very well written. So this war will really bring out the best in so many people. But I've been Brent along with Will for Geek Variants. Be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button, bottom right logo, or the red description box below if you want to keep up with all the content we have. Follow button on Twitch. Also greatly appreciated if you guys wanted to follow along that way. Tons of live stream coming up for you guys, including some Fallout 4 in between all of these amazing shows that are already dropping that we listed. That being said, we'll see you in the next one.